So the other day, EDP445 was out on the town looking for bakery after bakery in hopes to find a cupcake. When all of a sudden, on his journey to find a cupcake, two men approached him and said that he was having a sexually charged conversation online with a minor. Which is so wild, you know. EDP would never do such a thing. He was just trying to get a cupcake. I don't know why every time EDP goes out, people allege him of doing all these crazy things when he's literally just trying to get a cupcake. Obviously, I'm joking, and if you don't know already, I think about 2 years ago, EDP got caught in a sting operation where he tried to meet with a minor that he met online. He tried to meet up with this minor for sex. And he used the excuse that no, he wasn't there to do anything weird with this minor. He wasn't going to do any funny business. He was simply there just to try and find a place to get a cupcake. And then, after he got his cupcake, he was going to leave and go about his day. Which I gotta say, that's probably the most believable excuse ever. I can totally understand how somebody can, go out on the town and try and get a cupcake when all of a sudden they're confronted by people saying that they're trying to have sex with a minor. So it's a very understandable excuse. But I do want to mention that even before that situation where he got caught in that sting operation, he already had a history of messaging minors online, which is so weird. But yeah, so this whole sting operation that happened a couple years ago really brought light into how much of a freak he is. And just the other day, Jidion dressed up in a cupcake outfit and went to go meet EDP at a dialysis center. And I do want to mention, this is not, this video that you guys have seen online, I'll play it here. This is not EDP meeting a minor. They just knew he was going to be at this location, which, so far we don't know how they knew he was going to be at this location at this time. I guess we'll have to wait for the full video to drop from Jidion's channel. But Jidion did this with a guy named Skeeter Jean on YouTube that goes by Skeet Hansen, which he does a lot of vigilante to catch a predator type work. And from my knowledge, from my understanding, I actually watched 2 videos from him to kind of get like a bigger understanding of like what he does. He doesn't do the typical YouTuber thing, which is to just do this for content and to not go about the proper channels to like lock these people up, which I do want to go on a side tangent for a bit. And I do want to talk about that because I find it fucking insane how it doesn't matter if you're part of the police or you're not. I find it fucking insane how you can literally have a person, you can literally message a person, you can act like you're a minor or whatever, you can have a decoy, all this stuff. You can have the person's name, you can have the person's face, you know where the person lives, obviously, if you have their name, the police can look that stuff up. You have chat logs of them messaging minors. They obviously came to a certain location that you predetermined to meet this minor, and sometimes some of these guys even bring condoms with them, so you know their intention very well. And somehow, I don't really understand even what the proper channels are because I don't do this type of work, right? But I don't understand how, with all of that laid out, how these guys still don't end up in jail. It's really weird to me. Like EDP445, like I said, he has a history of doing this. He's been caught on video, 2 years ago doing this. He messaged another minor, and this is what Jidion and this Skeeter Jean guy approached him about, and he's still not in jail. He's still a free man, which is fucking terrifying. Like, sometimes I really don't think the cops take this stuff super seriously, which is so sad. I watched one of Skeeter Jean's videos the other day, and keep in mind, I only watched 2 videos. And in one of the videos that I saw, when he, basically what he does is he finds, the predator, gets them to meet at a certain hotel, talks to them about the chat logs, pretty much what Chris Hansen does on To Catch a Predator. And then after he talks to them and asks them a few questions, they call the cops, basically, and, the cops come. Except one of the videos I saw, he called the cops, and the lady on the phone was like, oh, like Skeeter Jean called the cops, and he said on the phone, hey, we have a guy here. He's like 40 years old. He's trying to meet a 14-year-old, what he thinks is a 14-year-old. You know, we're holding a sting operation. He thinks this is a 14-year-old, and he's here to meet her for sex. Can you come and arrest this guy? He obviously says it a lot more professional than I just did, because I don't do this line of work. I don't know the exact way to talk to police, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's basically what he says. And the lady on the phone was like, oh, so are you trying to trap people? Are you trying to lure people to a hotel? Basically trying to implicate that Skeeter Jean is doing something illegal, which is fucking insane, given the information that he just told this lady on the phone about. So yeah, sometimes I just don't think the police take this stuff super seriously, which is so fucking upsetting, because this is a big issue. But basically how this sting operation went the other day is it really wasn't even a sting operation. So as far as I know, he was talking to a 15-year-old girl that he met actually in Jidion's Discord. And he talked to her for a bit, and obviously he's a fucking freak, so he was like talking about a bunch of like sexual stuff to this 15-year-old girl. I don't know how old EDP is, honestly, but he looks old as hell. Like, I would not want my kid anywhere near him just based on how he looks. Like, you look at EDP and you can't tell me that does not look like a creepy man. But essentially, after talking with EDP for a little while, this girl actually messaged Jidion and got in contact with Jidion and say, hey, EDP was in your Discord, and, you know, he messaged me and we've been talking for a little bit, and he's being kind of weird and I don't really like what's going on. And so basically, I believe they set up a sting operation. Like I said, the video's not out. Apparently, Jidion's going to make a whole video about this like kind of sting operation with EDP. But this was not a decoy that he was talking to. I want to make that very clear. He was talking to a real, very real 15-year-old girl, in which he also sent videos to her. And I'm clearly not going to show this shit, but he sent videos to her of him jerking off to her pictures. So that is very disgusting. She didn't leak it. I believe, because I saw the video. The video is completely censored. Like, you can only hear him going, you know what I mean? Like, it's a completely censored video, which is good, because if she leaked, you know, nudes of him, that could probably be a bad thing for them in the court case, because that is illegal to like post someone's nudes without their knowledge, you know, without them publicly posting it themselves. So yeah, this does look like this is going to go in court. Jidion actually went on stream with Moist Critical the other day and talked about how this is going to probably go to court. He's going to be in the courtroom with this 15-year-old girl, and we could actually see EDP go to jail, which would be such a great day. Like I said earlier, this guy has been going around talking to minors for so long, and honestly, who knows if he's done anything with a minor. It's impossible to know, you know? He's been doing this for years. He's been caught in a sting operation twice now. Who knows how many times, if any, because maybe he didn't, but you can't rule out that there is a possibility that he did meet a minor and do some weird stuff with in the past. So this guy just needs to be put under the fucking jail, honestly. He does not need to be anywhere near children in any capacity. And man, it's crazy, right? Because as we all know, you know, being a pedophile is probably the worst thing you can be in jail. Other, you know, people in jail do not take that very lightly. So, you know, EDP, it's not impossible that he could be killed in jail, but obviously that is speculation. We don't know if he even is going to go to jail yet, but it does look like that this is actually going to be a thing. I believe they also worked with the police, because, you know, Skeeter Jean was there. Skeeter Jean has done a lot of this work in the past. He's worked with police on sting operations. He's even worked with Inside Edition before. So this guy knows what he's doing, which is good. And hopefully something good comes out of this. Hopefully justice is served and EDP is locked up for fucking forever, because he doesn't need to be out in the world with kids. It's so crazy how he's just been able to get away with this for so long. It's so upsetting. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Thanks for watching.